That show, which is called Side Wars, was there, and his name is Barry Watson. Barry Watson actually was also the producer for Dragon Ball Z. He was recording the show in Canada at the time. This was in 1998. We just briefly spoke and exchanged business cards, and he asked me if I was, if I did character voices, and I said absolutely. Been doing them since I was a little kid, just for fun. And 8 months later, he called me for the audition because he moved all of the production from up in Canada down to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. There's a lot of talent there, and basically, when it was time for auditions, he called me, and I came in, and they told me to sound like a little boy. And so I just made up a voice, and they called me a couple weeks later and said, we'd like for you to play the role of Gohan for Dragon Ball Z. And that's kind of how it worked. It's networking and kind of being in the right place and kind of getting to know, the people that are involved. And then from there, just kind of, they picked up more properties like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT. And then they used my singing voice for some of the animation themes. For Yu Yu Hakusho, there's a song called Sayonara, Bye Bye. Sayonara, Bye Bye. And in Case Closed, I did a theme for them. And in Kitty Grade, has anyone heard of Kitty Grade? It's another anime from Funimation that had me sing the opening and the closing theme. So I also got to do some singing, so that's been a lot of fun. I was actually asked to sing the opening theme for Dragon Ball, but they decided, well, she's the voice of Goku, we should probably have a male voice, maybe something different. So they went ahead and had a male voice sing that. So, but that would have been fun to sing the main theme for Dragon Ball and be the voice of Goku. But I did a smashing demo of it. So.
I'm sure you did.
And thank you so much, by the way, for bidding on the charity items last night. He bid on a poster, a signed poster, and a signed trading card. And all of the money that they brought in for the charity goes to needy children. So thank you so much for that.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
So 10 years ago, I started watching Dragon Ball Z, and it really interested me in how you developed such a powerful voice with Kamehameha and the Senko. Did you kind of have a method to develop that sort of powerful energy when you did the voice? Or
For the screaming and the power?
Yeah, what kind of, how did you draw that out? How did you do it? Can you show us?
Absolutely. I think being a singer all my life and being in musical theater and learning at a very young age to project my voice was probably the foundation for everything. And then once I was cast and I got into the booth and in front of the microphone and in front of the screen, you can see what's going on when you're recording because they play the video and then you're supposed to read the script and follow the mouth flaps. So basically I would just channel, by watching the energy in Goku's face. And having been a singer and been in theater, I think that the foundation was there. And then every time I would yell and scream, they're like, okay, give me a little more, give me a little more. And so they would just direct me. And I don't know, as painful as it could be, working all day and several days a week, I guess I just have some good vocal endurance from using my voice, so, since I was a little kid. And I screamed a lot when I was a little girl. So, that could be good and bad, but I was a very vocal little kid. So who knew that it was going to lead to a career in voice acting and singing, but so I guess you could say I started training when I was just a little kid.
Hello. Can you please sing for us?
Sing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was thinking of what I could sing for you. So I also have to do some of the voice. If it's okay, we can do that at the end. That way, just go out with a big giant bang. So sure. I was thinking maybe the Dragon Ball theme would be a good one.
Sure. Yeah, I think this crowd might like that. I was going to suggest the Australian national anthem, but
oh, you have to let me know to learn it in time.
I'll teach it to you later.
Okay, I'll learn it before I leave the country. Okay, let's see if I can remember. verse. And this is the opening theme to Dragon Ball. Be as brave as you can be, a childlike love, a fantasy. The world is a mystery for you and me. A miracle, an adventure too. A single wish waits for you. The beating of your heart will see you through. When you think you can't go on, give it another try. The shadow of your youth is strong and as big as the sky. Search over the valleys, the mountains, and you'll see, leaving in yourself set you free. Come on, give you romance. Come on, give you paradise. Liberate the you that you keep inside. Come on, give you romance. Come on, give you paradise. Make believe it's true. You'll see fantasy. Magic can happen to you.
Yeah!
Okay, cool. I thought I'd throw out the Dragon Ball thing. Why not? I also sing all kinds of other things, you know, R&B, soul, jazz.
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
Are you over 9,000?
Over 9,000. You mean the power?
Yes.
Absolutely. Kamehameha! Hi.
I was just wondering, is there any particular episodes of Dragon Ball Z, GT that was stand out to you that you liked, that you kind of took home and thought, wow, that was a great episode too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think I had the most fun with Goku and Dragon Ball because he's so innocent and funny and sweet, and he was, you know, raised in the forest, and there's so much you didn't know, but he's just so innocent that he's funny. So a lot of those episodes really stood out to me, especially when Master Roshi has Goku, he's training Goku with Krillin, and he's telling him to go out and find him a pretty girl. And Goku doesn't understand the difference between a pretty girl or maybe not an attractive girl or a big girl or a small girl. He thinks that girls are just girls, they're all the same, they all look good, so here you go. And so I remember that episode being really funny when he was coming back with, you know, different, what he thought were pretty girls, and Master Roshi would be mad, and he's like, no, that's not it. And he would show him pictures, and he just didn't understand. And I thought the scene where Master Roshi is in the bathroom, and Goku's standing outside, and he opens up the door, and Goku instantly catches her whiff, and grabs his nose and goes, "You're stinky." I thought that one was funny. And I also remember being in the studio and doing some scenes with Yajirobe, and there was a lot of running around, and sliding down the mountains, and at one point, Goku jumps in the water. Well, I got so excited, and I was watching this, you know, the screen, and I was trying to, you know, the next thing you know, he's jumping in the water, right? Well, I got so excited that I acted like I was jumping in the water, and so I went, and I actually made a sound out of my mouth like I was jumping in the water. The director was like, "Oh my God, what did you just do?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry, I just got carried away." So I remember that one standing out. And that episode, I think, was directed by Mike McFarlane, who plays the voice of Yajirobe. And of course, we had a huge laugh about that one. And I like the Dragon Ball GT episode where he climbs the tree because he doesn't want to go to the doctor. I hate doctors! And he's like hiding up in the tree and he's scared. And so that one kind of stands out. And then obviously Dragon Ball Z, when Gohan is fighting Cell, big emotional stuff. Really channeled the deepest, darkest, raspiest voice that I could physically come up with. In fact, the director was telling me, "You sound like Clint Eastwood. Just the most Clint Eastwood voice you've got, just give it to me." So I had used Clint Eastwood as a reference for the "don't have to do this, Cell.
This fight is meaningless.
Yeah, give it up. That's your work.
I get really deep.
Yeah. I just want to say something to the people in the bleachers. If you have a question, please come down and sit in the first 3 rows, and then it'll be easier for me to get to you because I sometimes can't
It's
see.
going to make you run around.
Oh, I don't need that much cardio at all. Here you go.
Hi. Do you ever find it strange that you even played a male character ever?
Oh, absolutely. I did immediately. I'm like, you want? Because I auditioned for Chi-Chi and Chaozu and Flora and Bulma, and I auditioned for 6 or 7 characters, and I'm thinking in my head, well, naturally they're going to consider me maybe more for a female character. And so when they call me back for the callbacks, and they have me read for 2 or 3 boy characters, I'm like, why are we doing this? But it was really exciting to be cast as a little boy because I could live vicariously through Goku. It was so much fun. So, the first convention I ever attended was at Comic-Con San Diego in 2000 in California. And I was there signing autographs and meeting with fans, and the show had kind of just come back out on Cartoon Network. And there were actually fans that would come to the line and they didn't believe that I did the voice. They were like, but you're a girl. You're not the voice, I don't believe you. And so all day long I was having to prove to them, yes, I did the voice, and I would have to do the voice, and they're like, no. And they would be like, wow. But they didn't believe me at first. So, but I think it's customary for a woman to do most little boy voices, and some, not always, but for the most part, like Bart Simpson and something. So yeah, but I embraced it and absolutely had a blast doing it. So I don't know if I think I've been more boy character than I've ever been female.
I think women of over little boy age are a bit more controllable than little boys, aren't they? I mean, it's not like you're going to go running around the booth smashing things.
Oh, absolutely, yes. They usually, for the most part, do not use actual really young children usually not under the age of 18. From my experience. It's just best to find an actor over that age as an adult to channel a youthful voice.
Yeah.
And it's good because a woman, usually little boys, their voices haven't changed because they haven't been through puberty. So a lot of times it is easier for a woman to play the voice of a young child, a little boy.
I'll never be asked to play a little boy.
What was your relationship like with the other voice actors? Like, did you even meet someone like this record scene with you? So what was your relationship with the other voice actors?
Early on, Funimation was a very, very small company, and they had only been open and in existence for a couple of years. And so when I came along for the Dragon Ball Z, that actually grew the company quite a bit. And we would actually have cast parties like once a year, where we would all come together and we would go out for pizza, go out to dinner, and the directors would be there. We would all just hang out, have dinner, and talk. And then there were times when I would be leaving the booth and coming out to go to leave because I'd be finishing with another actor would come in right after me. So we did pass in the hallways, and there were some times when we would do wall scenes where we would all just be, townspeople, women screaming, children crying, and sometimes they would squeeze 3 or 4 of us in the booth all together, and we'd just be all squished. So I was able to hang out with like Sean Schimmel, of course Goku, as well as Kyle Bear, who's a really sweet guy. I love Kyle. He moved to LA, so I don't see him as often. So I would see them coming and going, and then about once a year we would do a cast card. So I did get to see them, and some of the actors actually became directors. So I would see them, because they would take over, a certain amount of the episodes would go to, say, Chris Adam, and some of them would go to Mike McFarlane, and then some of them would go to Chris Casey. And so over time, some of the actors would become directors. So I got to see them then. So it's a lot of fun.
Stephanie, stage right. Stage right. That's your right.
Oh, okay.
my little sister's behalf, I would like to ask, what was your most favorite episode to do?
Favorite episode ever? You know, probably the episode in Dragon Ball where he fought a ninja. His name was General Tao. I don't know if you guys remember the episode. I'm not sure the number of the episode as far as the number of the episode. But basically, this ninja was a really mean guy, and he was voiced by Kent Williams. Did somebody just say that? That's awesome. Yeah, it was Kent Williams. Great guy. Awesome. Really theatrical. Anyway, he was really serious about conquering Goku. Well, Goku was just having fun. It was a game to him, and he wasn't scared. And so Kent Williams, as the voice of General Tao, just kept coming at him, and he was throwing knives at him, and they were swishing around, and he was trying to catch him and go in the water and breathe through a tube and try to sneak up on him. Well, then Goku just ran inside and grabbed a kettle of hot water and just came over and poured the hot water down the tube. And I mean, every time this guy tried to attack Goku, Goku just, I said you. It was just a fun game, and I just thought it was hilarious how hard he tried to conquer Goku. And Goku was just like, what's next? What's next? Or like, wow, you're really good. Let's do that again. He's just like a little fun little kid. So that was probably one of my favorite Dragon Ball episodes.
Awesome. Hi, Steph.
Hello.
So yeah, General Tao by Kent Williams, and we were talking about the time where Goku was fighting Ninja Murasaki. I don't remember that episode.
Yes.
I think you once said,
Tag, you're right. Yeah. Oh, he just thought it was hilarious. He thought it was a fun game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
for him to be a child and to be so brave, And this guy was like, he really wanted to kill him. Like, he really wanted to conquer this little boy. And he was like,
he was just following orders. It's like, get to work, Sergeant Major. Do your job. Kill him. Kill him now.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. I will not fail you. The boy will die.
Very good.
Thank you. But I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was great.
Thank you. I would like, if I may, to ask about your singing career.
Okay.
Basically, I think you were singing before you became an actress,
So was.
but doing the same little voice since 1996. I think it's a lot of achievements. So can you explain to me about your early singing career? Like, what were the start?
I can tell you about that. It's back at the tender age of 3 years old. I remember, I know it's a long time ago, but I remember my dad had a stereo for us, and he had these